and welcome back to Table for One. I am so excited that you're all here today. If you've never listened to this podcast before, well, I just talk about things that have been plaguing my brain. And so, here we are. I cannot believe that this is the 11th episode. One of my goals when starting this podcast was to get to 10, and I got to freaking 10. And 10 was the freaking FIFA special. And here's a top secret. You probably thought that the FIFA special was the only time I haven't been at the red table, but joke's on you, the episode even before that, I was at a different table. So it's actually been like 2 weeks, or I guess three, since I've been at the table for one. So yeah, it doesn't matter to you, but it matters to me. And the question you might be thinking is, what is next for the podcast since I've reached my goal? Well, I'll just keep podcasting until I get bored or until I become employed. I am actually unemployed again because I finished the website for my career counselor. Hooray, I guess that it's finished, but also, aw. But hey, add it to the resume, whatever. Now on to the topics of discussion for today. The first topic is something I've been really passionate about for kind of a long time. And I never really I haven't been thinking about it recently, but then once I started thinking about it, I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot how much brain capacity this takes up. So you know, so if I had to be in a boxing match, with someone dead or alive, real or fake, it would be Elsa from Frozen. Now, Elsa is probably one of the worst main characters in any Disney franchise probably ever. She's actually a terrible person, and yet she's like the main character, and like she gets all the like merchandise, and she's like the most popular one. All the little girls dress up as her, and it's like, really? Because she's actually a horrible, terrible person. If you think about it, which I certainly have, which we'll get to. And I didn't know this, but Frozen 3 is coming out November 2027. Just another opportunity for Elsa to be just horrible. So let's hear how literally god-awful this character is. Who wrote this girl? Probably someone who's in prison now. So let's start with the first movie, Frozen 1. Now, Frozen 1 came out in 2013. I was 9 years old. I didn't realize how terrible she was at the time, okay? I was just a kid. You don't understand. I saw it at a friend's birthday party. Frozen, it was, I mean, it's been the talk of the town ever since. So Frozen 1 is interesting because, like, this is the first movie. Obviously, it has a better story than the second one. But this movie, Elsa does have an arc to her character. By the end, she's learned. But there's still parts of this movie where you're just like, ew, who are you, girl? Like, hello? So let's talk about it. So first, she zaps Anna in the head with her powers. Like, yeah, she was 8 years old and it was an accident, but like that just goes to show. Like, why was she aiming? She said, wait, Anna, wait, you're going too fast. And then she should have said wait and like zap below her to get the snow, not her head, dumb. Anna asks Elsa to build a snowman, and Elsa says, "Go away, Anna." Freaking rude. Like she doesn't have, she like has to conceal her powers or whatever, but like she doesn't even talk to Anna through the door. Like I know after she zapped Anna, it was a big issue, but she couldn't even say hey. She couldn't have just lied and said, "Oh, I'm sick, girl. I mean, like I'm chronically sick, chronically ill. Like you can't even come near me." No, she's like, "Go away, stupid. Be in this empty castle all by yourself while I'm just in my room." Like, they could have had a pen pal relationship through the door, but no. Like, I get, maybe she was like, her parents told her to, but like, guess what? I don't care. So then she becomes the queen, for literally why? Like, I get that she's the oldest, but like, she's been in her room the whole time. Like, why? She doesn't even deserve this. Then, when they had a bonding moment at the coronation for Elsa being queen, and she literally runs away. I forget why. I rewatched the movies for these briefly, but I forget now. Then she causes an eternal winter, like one does. She just causes it to be winter and then dips. She said, "I'm mad and you're cold. Bye, girl." Then she built herself a whole ice castle, so, period. But then Anna literally hikes to Elsa's castle just to be like, "Hey girl, there's an eternal winter. I don't know if you noticed with all the snow, but like you kind of have to save this." Like she doesn't know Elsa can't save it. But then Elsa says, "Hell no, girl, get out of my face." Sends her down the ice castle, summons an ice giant from her hands and throws them out. And Olaf too, which she created, so that's her biological child. She threw her child out, and her sister. Then, while Anna is in the castle, she's like, "Elsa, help." And then Elsa literally strikes her in the heart with ice and doesn't apologize for it. What? She's like so moody. Like, isn't she like 25? Like, is this her second puberty? Like, why is she so hormonal? And then at the end of the movie, Elsa was gonna get stabbed by the, like, evil guy who, like, pretends to like Anna, whatever his name is. She's literally about to get stabbed, and Anna puts her hand in front of Elsa, or her whole body, to save Elsa. Luckily, Anna froze in time, because otherwise she would have, froze, like, turned into ice, because otherwise she would have been stabbed to death. Anna saved this little Beezy from dying when TBH, after all else is done, she kind of deserves to die. She is terrible. And then she goes, "No, Anna, you're crying. Anna, you're frozen, OMG." And she starts crying on her sister's shoulder. Finally, now she realizes that maybe this is bad. And then Anna unfreezes because she cried. I don't know how that kind of works, but she saved the day. She caused Arendelle to not have winter anymore. And then somehow by the end of the movie, this nub is still the queen. What do you mean? What is happening? Anna literally sacrificed herself, and she's still the queen. She literally ran away and left all you guys. Ugh. I don't get it. So, like, as you can kind of tell, like, there's, like, an arc to her character. Like, she lives and she learns. I guess she hasn't been out of her room in a while, But, Frozen 2, her behavior is absolutely diabolical. In Frozen 1, she learns to love, and she learns to harness her powers. In Frozen 2, she has a lobotomy, seriously. So Frozen 2 came out in 2019. I was 15 years old. I was so excited to see the movie because it's been 6 years. I was 9, now I'm 15 years old. I was in the movie with all of the 6-year-olds who weren't even born when the first movie came out. And I'm watching this movie. Firstly, the pacing in this movie is so slow, even though the movie is they're the same length. I was getting so freaking pissed with Elsa every step of the way. I'm like, what is happening? What is she doing? I remember coming out of the movie and this one little girl was singing all the songs from the movie, and I couldn't even remember the songs because I was so pissed off at Elsa. And I was just in awe with the extremely realistic backgrounds, even though they're cartoons. Anyway, so Frozen 2 takes place 3 years in the future of Frozen 1. So Elsa had a long time to really settle in and learn her lessons, but Elsa doesn't learn, okay? So firstly, she acts all mysterious when she hears that little opera at the beginning of the movie. Acts like nobody gets me. No one hears the voice. Yeah, no one hears the freaking voice. You're literally schizophrenic, girl. Oh my God, just stop. The voice will go away. Then she keeps hearing the freaking voice, so she gets all dramatic and starts singing a song about going into the unknown, and then she causes ice shards to fall from the sky all over Arendelle. It wakes up the entire town. The power goes out. There's no more water. There's a huge windstorm, and there's an earthquake. This is entirely the Queen's fault. Imagine if Queen Elizabeth just started shooting at all the citizens of London. That's basically the same thing. I mean, Queen Elizabeth is dead, but I don't care about the king. King George? I don't know. And then she's like, evacuate, everyone, evacuate. Girl, you caused this. Now imagine Queen Elizabeth shooting up London and telling everyone to run for their lives. Girl, you're causing this. What do you mean? I guess they didn't know that Elsa caused it. But come on, girl. Not even an apology. She doesn't do apologies, that nub. So then she leaves all the people in the village to fend for themselves, apparently, when she's the one with the magic ice powers, and was like, all right, guys, I'm leaving. I'm finding this mysterious voice, even though I could have ignored it, and I'm leaving. Bye. Girl. What? Girl, she's so selfish. Then they go into the enchanted forest or whatever, and they meet the people who live there, which is they're supposed to be indigenous people, and then I think she kind of tries to convert them to follow her beliefs, which is really not the vibe. But yeah, but wasn't it was in the movie her grandpa tried to kill one of them, so now we're killing the indigenous people, which is just definitely a choice that was made in the movie. She also kept saying that she was responsible for her parents' death. She goes, oh no, it's all my fault. Girl, they died on a ship. They died Titanic style, basically. Or they drowned. There was a storm. And Anna's like, no, girl, you're the best. And Elsa's like, no, tell me again how good I am. Tell me again how amazing I am. Oh my God, shut up, girl. You have ice powers, girl. What are you doing? And doesn't say one nice thing to Anna. I'm literally, Elsa's so canceled. Oh my God. And then, so I'm gonna read this how I wrote it, because this was the worst part of the movie. Can't believe she's the most unlikable character. I don't understand. She doesn't learn anything. So listen. So after Anna just talked to Elsa into getting her freaking panties out of a twist, Elsa just sends her and Olaf away in an ice boat, going like 300 kilometers an hour. And since they were going so fast, they tried to stop, and then they got rooted off the course that stupid Elsa sent them down, and then they fell down a waterfall into a cave, this is all Elsa's fault at the end of the day. She could have just said, hey, I just want to do this by myself, and because I have the powers, even though we're related and both of our parents died, and we should both get the answers about their history. But instead of saying that nicely, I'm just going to send you on a boat ride and then basically end up killing you. Olaf actually does kind of die, but he comes back. So she actually killed her child. First, in the first movie, she throws him away. Second movie, she literally kills him inadvertently, but he still dies. And Elsa literally promised Anna, we're gonna go on this adventure together. The second Elsa, I don't know, crashes out for the umpteenth time, she's like, Anna, actually, bye. And Olaf, my son. So then, as Olaf is literally dead, Anna breaks the dam of the enchanted forest, which is like how they saved the freaking, like how the town has to be saved or something. But obviously it has a lot of water, and here comes Elsa on her water horse to stop the wave from hitting Arendelle. She didn't even have to, why are we on this adventure? She could have just said, she couldn't, it was just her hallucinating this voice. And then the whole town claps for her because she's all heroic, stopping the water when it was literally Anna who broke the dam. Like, yeah, everyone would have drowned if it wasn't for Elsa, but if it wasn't for Elsa, they wouldn't have had to go on, they wouldn't have to go on the adventure in the first place. Oh my god. So, and then Anna is so excited to see Elsa after they literally saved the day, but she literally tried to kill you and Olaf, so why are you happy? Elsa rebuilds Olaf, but seriously, she should get a charge. She should get a murder charge for this, seriously. And then at least, thank God, Elsa says, Anna, you should be queen. And that would be nice and all, but turns out Elsa is the fifth spirit, which is being a spirit is literally better than being the queen. So she's like, Anna, you can be this queen or whatever, but I'm literally a spirit of the forest. Bye. And then she's lives in the forest now, and Anna's just queen all by herself. What the frick? Elsa's such a master manipulator. I literally hate that girl. I'd so fight her. But you're probably asking yourself, girl, how are you going to fight Elsa because she has ice hands? Well, it's pretty obvious. She is so moody. She's so dramatic. She goes, oh, woe is me, I'm Elsa. I can't do anything. So I basically just I just use my words to destroy her in our match. So if she's not the center of attention, or if she's not the hero, she gets mad. So one of the things I do is I just tell a funny joke to the crowd, and then the whole crowd would start laughing, and then Elsa would get really mad because she wasn't the center of attention. And then she'd go, oh my god, and then while she's all doing that, I'd go boom boom and knock her out. I'd win. Or I'd insult her and tell her that I saved the eternal winter and not her. And she'd go, no, it was me. I saved the day. I'm the hero. And I'd be like, well, you also caused the eternal winter. And then she'd get all mad and her panties would get twisted again. And then I'd boom, boom, bang, knock that sister out. And then me and Anna, and then I can go say, Anna, girl, this is what a real sister's like. And then me and Anna can be sisters. And people can dress up as me for Halloween. Anyway, I literally hate Elsa. I think everyone should. Anyway. Sorry, guys, I kind of got a little angry there. Like, I kind of need to calm down. Whew, Jesus. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway. Phew. So, the next topic I want to talk about is I read another book a few weeks ago, and I want to talk about it. It's called The House Across the Lake by Riley Sager, probably it's how it's pronounced. And I want to talk about it because, like, I feel like I have mixed emotions, and I kind of like to hear what other people think about this kind of book. So, spoiler warning now. I'm going to read the synopsis first, and then you can decide if you want to listen to the rest of this segment. So, be careful what you... Oh, let me start again. Be careful what you watch for. Casey Fletcher, a recently widowed actress trying to escape a streak of bad press, has retreated to the peace and quiet of her family's lake house in Vermont. Armed with a pair of binoculars and several bottles of bourbon, she passes the time by watching Tom and Catherine Royce, the glamorous couple living in the house across the lake. They make for good viewing. A tech innovator, Tom is powerful, and a former model, Catherine, is gorgeous. One day on the lake, Casey saves Catherine from drowning, and the two strike up a budding friendship. But the more they get to know each other, and the longer Casey watches, it becomes clear that Catherine and Tom's marriage isn't as perfect as it appears. When Catherine suddenly vanishes, Casey immediately suspects Tom of foul play. What she doesn't realize is that there's more to the story than meets the eye, and that shocking secrets can lurk beneath the most placid of surfaces. Packed with sharp characters, psychological suspense, and gasp-worthy plot twists, Riley Sager's The House Across the Lake is the ultimate escapist read. No lake house required. So anyway, that was the synopsis. So let's talk about the book. I'm going to tell you about the whole book. It can be shortened really easily. So let's talk about it. Spoiler warning ahead. So Casey is like a drunk, widowed woman, and she's at her rich family's lake house to take some time off after she low-key got exposed for being a drunk. But the reason why she is a drunk is because last time they were at the lake house, her husband went out fishing in the morning by himself and then fell in the water and died. So maybe I'd be a drunk too. So this press is kind of rude. So then she's at the lake house, she finds the binoculars, and she looks out onto the water, and she sees this random lady lying face down in the lake. And she's like, girl, what? Two people can't die in this lake. My husband just died. Oh, the husband's name is Len. My husband just died, and now this lady's gonna die. So she freaking saves the lady, and turns out the lady is Catherine. And they hit it off. So Casey's kind of a creep, and she starts getting into the habit of watching The House Across the Lake. Guys, it's the title of the book, where Catherine, and rich husband Tom live. But then Kathy starts acting kind of weird in the house. And also, they kind of visit sometimes with Tom, and Catherine's acting a little weird. And Tom's acting weird, and everyone's a little acting strange. And then one day, Casey looks out with the binoculars, and turns out Catherine's disappeared. Uh-oh, that's not good. So Casey thinks it's Kathy's weird husband, Tom. Because, Catherine kind of gives hints oh, he wants my money, blah, blah, blah. And then most of the book is spent, Casey being a creep and, getting evidence on Tom. And then her and this police guy who lives next door to Casey, they discover that there's been 3 missing people around this lake area, which is kind of weird. There was this creepy letter, and Casey's maybe Tom has something to do with this. This is so weird. So then finally, she confronts Tom, it's taken long enough, and Casey's like, hey girl, like you've been acting so sus, like it's literally you. And Tom's like, no, it ain't me, but I've actually been holding Catherine hostage. Oh, okay. So they go to where Catherine's being held. Catherine is being held hostage. And then Catherine goes, hey, I'm actually your husband, Len. Oh. And then big reveal, um, Len is actually in Catherine's body because when Len died in the lake, his soul actually stayed in the lake. And then when Catherine kind of died in the lake, because I guess she did kind of die, when she kind of drowned, then Len's soul actually inhabited her body. And also, Len actually was the one who killed those girls. And the letter that they found was actually Casey wrote that, so I don't know why Casey was surprised to find that. And then Casey wrote that letter and then she killed her husband. Yeah, he didn't actually fall in the lake. Casey pushed him because obviously he's like a serial killer, so I'm not that mad actually. So this is what I'm kind of like, this is what I hate about these kinds of books. We're so grounded in reality, and then way more than halfway in, it's just like, hey, there's a magical twist. Like, I don't love that Len's soul just inhabited Catherine because that makes no sense. And this whole book has made sense up until now. So then, apparently, the only way to get the husband out of Catherine's body is for Catherine to inhabit Casey's body, and then Casey drowns in the lake, and then she gets saved just in time by Catherine, and then Len's soul is stuck in the lake, and then everyone is happy, and Len reveals where the dead girls are, and hooray, happily ever after. Which is extremely convoluted. We're like 250 pages in. This book is like 300 pages. Like, she's like, I know what to do. I need to drown, kill myself, so that Len escapes me. But luckily, I was saved. And then Catherine was there. I don't know. But the double plot twist is, why did Catherine even drown in the first place? Because Tom is weird and he was trying to kill Catherine. He needs money for his company. So then Tom just randomly, so it's like a happy ending, but then Casey turns around and Tom's there, and Tom's like, you should have just let her die. But then Casey's like, no. Then Casey kills Tom. Tom lands in the water. Len's soul inhabits Tom's body again. And then she just kills them on Len, Tom, on land. And then no soul is ever in the lake again. And then she marries the hot cop next door. Like the book, like I was on the edge of my seat. But why did we have to get magical all of a sudden? Like freaking Len/Catherine breathed on Casey and Casey just felt a rush of Len all of a sudden. Like, I need rules if we're gonna do magic. This is why we don't do magic like halfway through the book. You know, like there could have been a different kind of twist. Like I don't know, like Tom, like Len's not actually dead. No, what was it? Wait, I wrote something down. Oh yeah. So the killer should have been Casey, and she's an unreliable narrator, and she tricks the reader into thinking someone else did it, but she's actually crazy, and she's trying to put the blame on someone else. I read this book. It was about, I forget what it's called. I think it was called Falling, and it was about this rock climbing thing. basically, well, what ended up happening is the narrator convinced you it was her friend that killed the girlfriend, but it was actually the narrator trying to kill the friend, but accidentally killing the girlfriend. So the narrator was unreliable, and that was a plot twist. Not this stupid magic. Oh, this is actually magical. Like, girl, if it's magical, I want it magical the whole time, you know? This book, though, is not as bizarre as this book that I read. I think it was called, their last name was like Bunny something. Rabbit. It was like called The Rabbits. Girl, who cares? Don't read this book. Basically the teenage son went missing and it was like so crazy, but actually turns out the teenage son can just turn himself invisible. Yeah, I know. Turns out the grandma can turn herself invisible too, so it runs in the family. And then at the end of the book, he's not invisible anymore, and that's literally the end. No explanation. That was a terrible book. I just love to know your guys' opinions. I love who am I talking to right now? Whatever. Here's just a thought to yourself. What's your opinion? Well, first, what's your opinion on Elsa? Secondly, what's your opinion on books that just randomly do magical plot twists like over halfway through the book? You know? I don't know if it's my vibe. I don't know. I really don't know. If you want a good book, read, what was it called? Best Offer Wins. So, yeah. And don't even try to put me on nonfiction, bro. That's not my vibe. So, my next topic is this. If you say something enough times, you believe it. So, my dad works in healthcare, and we always joke that he is a doctor. He is not a doctor. But what this got me thinking that, like, if you say something, if you think about something hard enough, perhaps you can, like, believe it. Or maybe it could even come true, you know? Like, if I tell myself I'm rich and famous, like, I'll believe it. And when I believe it, I'll make it come true. Not that I tell myself and it will come true, but I tell myself and I believe that it's possible, and then I make it come true. Ooh, that's why you gotta do positive affirmations. Because if I say, "Oh, I'm just so stupid," then I'll believe it to be true, and then I won't do anything. Won't try because I think I'm already dumb. Okay. What's funny, not funny, what's interesting is that, this phenomenon has a name to it. I know. And I know my dad is, listening, doctor. So you better take notes, okay? This is your new diagnosis. It's called the illusory truth effect, or illusion of truth. Oh. It is a cognitive bias where we are more likely to believe a statement is true simply because we have heard it or read it repeatedly. When a statement is repeated, it becomes easier for your brain to process. This cognitive ease is called processing fluency because your brain naturally connects fluency with truth. Since familiar things are typically safe and known, it shortcuts the critical thinking process and generates an unconscious feeling of validity. So basically, you can convince yourself of any truth so as long as you say it with certainty enough times. And it's like, we believe, like, I can tell myself every day I'm successful. I feel like I won't ever believe that as the truth, but if I keep telling myself, like, then I know that it's attainable, you know? And so Studies have even shown that when people initially know a piece of information to be false, repeated exposure can override their memories and cause them to believe the lie as truth. So, like, low-key, illusory truth is just like thinking something is true, but I feel like using the illusory truth to further your life is kind of genius. And I feel like the illusory truth effect always messes me up when I'm on TikTok and the comments always say the video's AI, but I know it's real, but then I think maybe it's AI too, cuz like I'm like being fed it. Anyway, but I guess you can also use the illusory truth effect to gaslight people, which is kind of the downside. Because, like, gaslighting yourself is one thing, but, like, gaslighting others, like in the medical field, if we're going back to the doctor thing, like, doctors dismissing your truths and lived experiences as nothingness. Like, they're like, oh, like, you go, I'm feeling pain here, and your doctor is like, no, that's just stress, and your head playing tricks on you, and then you think, oh, maybe that's true, because, like, it's a doctor. So, I feel like that's just kind of interesting. Like, sometimes, like, science just kind of, like, is giving, like, so much vibes. Like, sometimes it's not, but sometimes it is, and I feel like when science can relate to your life, then I'm intrigued. When it's just like boring stuff, like, I don't even know, like finding a new bug in the Amazon rainforest, not my vibe. Although I did learn about this fish. I think it's called like a sunfish. I don't know. But animals just eat it and it doesn't care. There's literally videos of like sea animals like eating it and just a whole chunk is taken out of its face, but just keeps on swimming. Now that's my kind of person. You get beaten down and you just keep going. Ooh, low key, that was deep. Anyway, here's a you know what, this is deep too. I'm gonna pose a question. What would life be like without eggs? I'll let you simmer. Are you simmered? Okay. If if you're like a hardcore vegan or like whatever, or you're allergic, like I don't know how you live without eating eggs. Like, okay, if you're allergic, like that's one thing, but if you like choose not to eat eggs, like you are missing out, okay? Eggs are the cornerstone of literally every food. Like, not only are they in stuff, but they are just like they're so versatile. They're just everything. They could be so much, but it's just an egg, you know? Listen to this. Scrambled eggs, hard-boiled eggs, deviled eggs, eggs benedict, omelet, soft-boiled, fried egg, quiche. They can be breakfast, lunch, dinner, pair it with toast or potatoes. Put mushrooms and tomatoes and spinach in the egg. Mix it with mayo. You got egg salad. Eat a hard-boiled egg as a snack. I mean, come on. All from the simple chicken? Wait a minute. What's a chicken the scientific name of a chicken? Because, like, I gotta be respectful. All from a all this from a Gallus domesticus. I mean, come on. Look, let me tell a story. Let me tell a story. Why eggs just be like, ugh, okay? So, this past winter, I went to Kitchener. We went there because as a nice vacation, but also to do my driving test, which I failed. But the day before my test, it was blizzard. And then the next day it was freezing cold. So the test got canceled. We were sitting at the DMV for 3 hours because they were like, oh, we'll check the road. Maybe it's clear. They come back. They say, no, we'll check again in an hour. They go again. They say, no. And then eventually they go, actually, we're canceled the whole day. So we were there for 3 hours. It was so miserable. Anyway, so we were just in a mood, and our toes were numb because it was freezing cold. And we go to Pure and Simple in Waterloo, which is Kitchener's beautiful next door neighbor. And I got the eggs Benedict on, what's it called? Like a scone, not a scone. Them bread with the holes in it. Whatever it's called. With kimchi. Oh my God. It was so good. I've been riding the high of the eggs Benedict with kimchi ever since. My stomach was in pain after, but I don't care. Oh my God, I mean, I never had eggs Benedict before, but my God, it was just like, Jesus Christ, like eggs, bro, eggs. Every day for lunch, I always eat egg mayo. I don't know if anyone calls it egg mayo, like eggs mixed with mayonnaise. Egg salad? I don't know what people call it. Egg mayo on toast with pickles. Oh my God. Guys, egg mayo on toast with pickles. It's so good. You have to try it. Trust me. You get the goopy mushy from the egg and the crunch with the pickles. I mean, it's delicious, man. And you know what else eggs are in? Spaghetti. How can I be Italiane without my spaghetti? Yeah, I know. And then, of course, we have desserts where the eggs are embedded into the treat. Okay. Name a dessert that doesn't have an egg, right? Because I even had to go and research this, like pudding, water cake, water pie from the Great Depression. If you don't know how to make that, it's pie crust, water, flour, sugar, vanilla, chunks of butter. And that's all. And you don't stir. And then you just bake it. That's all. You can't have freaking cookies. You can't have freaking pastries. You can't have freaking macarons. Nothing. And I don't care about them egg-free options or them egg alternatives because it's not an egg. It's not. It's like gluten-free bread. That's not bread. If it was bread, it would just be called bread. But no, it's called gluten-free bread. So, and you know what's also good? Eggs are freaking cheap. And like, I feel like in America they go, eggs are so expensive, but a dozen eggs here is $3.99. And that's 33 cents an egg. Okay? So, I'm balling. Eggs, guys, eat your eggs. Eat your freaking eggs. It's so healthy. And so I just want to personally thank every single chicken who sacrificed their buttholes to keep the world whole. It's a beautiful saying. Sacrifice their buttholes to keep the world whole. It's actually beautiful. It is beautiful. My final topic I want to talk about is brief, but I just have to mention it. So I always get into backpacking / hiking videos every once in a while, and I've been on that kick once again. I've been watching this YouTuber called Miranda Goes Outside and Through Hikers, which are this couple from San Francisco named Tim and Renee. And they be hiking, and I just think hiking is so cool, and hikers are cool. They love the nature, and they're just so happy. But I love watching like what's in my backpack hauls. The backpacks have like pockets, so many pockets, so many of them, so many carabiners, and you got the tents and the ultralight gear and the camping food and the treats, and like it looks so fun, like, and they're so happy, all these people, they're so happy, and they just love it, and their backpacks are cool and everything seems so fun, and I'm like, ugh, like this makes me want to go hiking or something, but I already know I would literally, no, I wouldn't. I'm saying this in past tense. No, I would literally hate it. No, I hate it. I've been camping before. It was like 2013, the same year as Frozen, I guess. We drove 3 hours to some janky campsite. They gave us a tent, and then they were like, okay, bye. So we just spent like 3 days, 2 nights, something, in like this one little just chunk, mud, dirt chunk. And oh my god, like I guess hiking is different, but I don't know, like this camp, the girl, there were so many bugs. I once woke up and there was like a spider, like the silhouette of a spider on the top of a tent, on of the tent. And I was like, girl, what? And then there was like the outhouse, because there were real bathrooms. It was in the middle of this like long grassy field, and I had to put on my Usain Bolt, vibes, and just sprint there. And then in the bath, because there were so many bugs, and then in the bathroom there was more bugs. And I'm just thinking right now, because when you hike, there's no bathrooms. You gotta poop in a hole. That's even worse. And like, you know, and there was a beach, I think, but I don't remember. I think I blocked it out. And like, I don't even think I would like glamping, because glamping is literally just the exact same but with beds. And I guess, no, a tent is covered by the, girl, glamping, the tents are just nicer normal tents, but they still just keep the bugs out. There's no air conditioning, unless there is. But I feel like glamping is actually kind of nasty, like the bed, and then it's all like humid. Ooh. And like, besides the camping, just the hiking. I don't think I hate hiking too. I like to walk fast, and hiking is freaking slow. And all these hikers who are just so happy, they always stop and they admire the view. And I'm like, like I give it a quick glance and I'm on my way, you know? And they stop for lunch. Oh God, that could not be me. Like, we gotta keep going. When me and my mom went to Newfoundland, we were on this like 15-kilometer hike. Well, those hikes were really fun, but it was like pleasant outside. We were on this 15-kilometer hike. We were like over halfway. It was about lunch, and I brought like a wrap so I could eat it on the go. My mom brought crackers, and I think it was egg mayo, and she sat her little butt down and freaking dipped her crackers in the egg mayo while I was finished my lunch in like 0.2 seconds. I think she just had the box with her. Like, it was such a disaster. Like, we are not sitting. And not only that, it was like starting to rain. So I'm like, what are we doing, girl? Like, let's go. I don't care about this. We're literally in the bush right now. Like, what is happening? When my mom went to Banff with her friends, apparently the one friend was stopping like every 5 seconds and admiring like every flower along the trail, being like, this is the rare Penelope fallopian tube flower. I would be pissed. I would literally punt them off the freaking cliff. Just like how I'd punt Elsa. Ooh! Made that come full circle, didn't I? And like I could punt Elsa. She's so skinny, so she's light. She's skinny. And those are all the topics I freaking have today. Sorry if I got a little heated. I'm glad to be back at the table though. Yeah, like let me know, who do you fight? Elsa? Like, should we team up? I don't know. I feel like, could you fight Elsa with fire? Or like, I don't know. She just freeze the fire. But then you could burn it. But then she just keep freezing it. She's too powerful like that. But anyway. But like, low-key, Elsa should drop the workout routine though. And the diet, because like, she's skinny though. Like, she kind of looks good in her dress. Anyway. I guess I'll see you guys next week. Let me know your thoughts. You can email me, tf1podcast@gmail.com. You can follow me on Instagram at tf1podcasts. And that's about it.